This is Wintergirls 23. Drink this. Elijah pushes a heavy mug of hot chocolate toward me. I don't remember who ordered it. I don't remember walking here. Go on. I use both hands to pick up the mug and sip. It burns my lips and tongue and my pink throat. Serves me right. My hands shake as I set the mug back down, and it sloshes on the table. He pulls paper napkins from the metal holder to wipe up the spill. I know this place. I've been here before. It's the vegetarian diner a couple of blocks from the church. The place with chill music, hemp bagels, and petitions at the cash register. How you doing, Emma? He asks. It takes a minute to register that he's talking to me, that I still haven't told him who I am because it's easier to lie. I should say, much better, thanks. How are you? With the good girl's smile. But I am too freaking tired. He pushes the soggy napkins to the end of the table. Seeing dead people can be weird. I hold my fingers in the steam rising from the mug and watch the cook working the grill, the toaster, and the blender. Cassie is sitting in every chair, laughing, chewing, pointing at the special on the menu. She's not in her coffin, I blurt out. He freezes for a second, eyes fixed on mine. His hair is washed and pulled back into a short ponytail. The wooden plug in his earlobe has been switched out for a hollow bone circle that makes a round window next to his jaw. He's wearing a button-down dingy shirt with a sad black tie. His hands are clean. He's shaved, sort of. I know, he says. That's just her shell, not her soul. I shake my head. That's not what I mean. She sat up in the coffin, then she disappeared. Didn't you see that? He lays both of his hands on mine and leans forward. They're so warm they should be glowing. Do me a favor, he says slowly. Take a sip, close your eyes, and breathe. That's dumb. He smiles and nods. Yeah, I know, but do it anyway. My hands raise the mug to my lips again. I am muffled in white velvet sheets. The beads click on my abacus. 12 ounces of hot chocolate equals 400, but I am freezing. I need to gulp the whole thing down and ask for more, crossed out. Drink one mouthful and ignore the taste. I sip, set down the mug, no spilling, and close my eyes. Breathe, he said. I breathe in pancakes and french fries, nervous smells. Keep breathing, he orders, his voice a rumble of faraway thunder. The cook puts something on the griddle and it hisses. Chair legs scratch the floor as the guy sitting at the table next to us leaves. Someone lifts a rack of glasses that tinkle together like rain. A couple of women laugh, their voices tripping over each other. The bathroom door squeaks. Ready? He asks. Open your eyes. Don't think, just open your eyes and be still. The diner comes back into focus. Tables, chairs, lights, kitchen. Posters covering the walls. Through the hole in Elijah's earlobe, I can see the crescent moon and stars painted on the wall under the clock. The girl sitting next to it is not Cassie. Neither is the waiter refilling her mug. I turn in my seat to look around. Nobody here is Cassie. I'm safe. Better? He asks. Better, thanks. No problem. He spears a forkful of waffle drenched in maple syrup. You had a shaky moment. It happens. He shovels the waffle into his mouth. Wait, I say, where did that come from? He points to the table next to us. The waitress hasn't cleaned it off. It still has her $5 bill stuck under the salt shaker, a half-empty cup of coffee, a dirty fork, and an empty placemat with syrup stains. They were just going to throw it away. That's disgusting. What about the germs? Free food never makes me sick. You want some? No way. He laughs so loud that people turn and stare. Are you always this strange? He laughs again. Stranger? See this? He rolls up his sleeve to show the tattoo that takes up his entire forearm. A muscular half-bull, half-man thing riding a bike through a wall of flame, with wings sprouted from its legs and arms and helmet. What is that supposed to be? He's the god of bike messengers. Cool, huh? This vision of him came to me one day when I was delivering a package to a law firm in Boston. Saw him so clearly I thought he'd reach out and choke me. He had to go in my skin. You have visions. It's a gift. You should see the tattoo on my butt. No thanks. I give the diner a quick glance. Still no Cassie. What if you get a vision you don't like? Doesn't matter if I like it or not. What matters is that I pay attention and figure out why it was sent to me. His eyes dart to something over my shoulder, and he suddenly shoves the waffle plate across the table, almost dumping it in my lap. Our waitress appears, long denim skirt, thick Icelandic sweater, tiny shells dangling from cartilage piercings, BMI 23. She rests the tray on her padded hip and frowns at the waffles. When did you order those? I didn't, I say. Elijah gently kicks my leg under the table. My buddy gave them to her, he says, the guy with the beat-up Bruins jacket. He left a couple minutes ago. She narrows her eyes, smelling a scam. Are you sure? He didn't stick us with the bill, did he? Elijah asks. No, she shakes her head. He paid. Left you a good tip, too, so no worries, right? He points to her tray. Is that mine? She sets the plate of toasted brown bread and a small crock of red jam in front of him and walks away without another word. He dumps the jam on the bread, spreading it thick like a knife. Thick with a knife. Can I ask you a question? He takes a bite. Anything. What's a bike messenger with visions doing in the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire? I don't live in nowhere. I live in Centerville. Want a bite? Sure, crossed out. No, I shake my head. Not hungry. And I used to be a bike messenger. Right now I'm a handyman. Turns out I have mad skills with a wrench. He folds the bread in half and stuffs most of it in his mouth. It's crazy. I can do anything. Right, sure. I laugh and accidentally drink some hot chocolate. Like what? Where should I start? Poet, philosopher, fisherman. My pop calls me a bum. But that's elitist, don't you think? I can split wood, spread mulch, pour beer, and grow perfect tomatoes. Sure you can. I'm an ace poker player, a shaman, and a wanderer in search of truth. I can drive a cab, a motorcycle, and ride a bull, but not for long. I shovel manure in an original and artistic manner. As soon as I get my car fixed up, I will become a gypsy looking for a lost world. And you're a thief, I add. When the situation calls for it. He pulls the syrupy plate back in front of him and dips the toast in it. Why don't you just use your powers to win the lottery or make money grow on trees instead of stealing food? That would be boring. He licks syrup off the side of his hand. Your turn. What are you? Sad. The word falls out. You knew her well, didn't you? The lights flicker behind my eyes. I knew her a whole world. I knew her sleepovers and cookie sales and crushes on boy bands, and the time I broke my leg riding on the back of her bike, and the time I helped her paint her room white after she painted it black without permission. Tell me something about her, he says, something nice. She loved waffles. Doesn't everybody? She said the world would be a better place if we all used waffles instead of bread. He eats a spoonful of jam. Why? Because they taste better and waffle is more fun to say. Good point. The scowly waitress comes by and leaves the check face down on the table. Elijah flips it over and glances at the total. I take out my wallet. What do I owe? He reaches in his pocket. I got it. You sure? Yep. He dumps a handful of change by his plate, but only if you finish that hot chocolate. I cleaned out a septic tank to earn this money. Not that you should feel guilty or anything. I fight a smile and curl my hand around the mug. I am a healthy teenage girl at a diner and I can sip a little more hot chocolate and this feels good and crossed out. I don't want to go home, not when I'm just starting to warm up. I'll let the skin form on top of hot chocolate and be so grossed out by it I can't drink anymore. He can't expect me to drink skin. I'll stay for 20 minutes until the library closes. You still hungry? I ask. Always. The smell of those French fries is killing me. Why don't you order some? Can't. He points to the pile of change. That's all I have on me. I pull out my debit card and wave it at him. No problem. 2 French fries equals 20. 24. I am almost a real girl and in the entire drive home. I went to a diner, I drank hot chocolate and ate French fries. Talked to a guy for a while. Laughed a couple of times. A little like ice skating for the first time. Wobbly, but I did it. As I walk in the house, the whispers start up again. She called. 33 times. You didn't answer. Body found in a hotel room. Alone. You left her alone. Should have done anything, everything. You killed her. I try to squeeze them out by focusing loudly. I am walking up the stairs. I am walking in my room. You left her alone. Shut up. I am throwing my purse on the bed. I am changing into my pajamas. I need my robe. I think I hung it up. I open my closet. You left me alone. Cassie is leaning against the stack of boxes. She tilts her head to one side and waves. Have a nice time? I slam the door so hard the frame cracks. She almost went to a doctor 2 years ago. The stuffing, puking didn't make her skinny, it made her cry. Her coach bumped her down to the JV soccer squad because she couldn't run fast enough. The drama teacher told her that she wasn't shining bright enough, so she didn't get the lead in the play. I can't stop, but I can't keep going, she told me. Nothing works. I totally supported her. I looked up the names of docs and clinics. I emailed her recovery websites. And I sabotaged every step. I told her how strong she was and how healthy she was going to be and how proud I was of her. And I dropped in how many calories I ate that day, the magic number on the scale, the number of inches around my thighs. We went to the mall and I made sure we used the same dressing room so she could see my skeleton shine in the fluorescent blue light. We went to the food court and she ordered cheese fries, chicken nuggets, and a salad. I drank black coffee and licked artificial sweetener from the palm of my hand. She asked me to guard the door while she puked lunch into the dirty mall toilet. We held hands when we walked down the gingerbread path into the forest, blood dripping from our fingers. We danced with witches and kissed monsters. We turned us into Wintergirls, and when she tried to leave, I pulled her back into the snow because I was afraid to be alone. I stay up past midnight reading in the family room in the hopes that Cassie will get bored and go away. Just as I am ready to head down to the basement to burn away my leg muscles until the sun comes up, crossed out, to exercise moderately for 20 minutes so I sleep better, Dad comes clumping down the stairs and into the kitchen. I hear the refrigerator open, then a long spray of whipped cream. The refrigerator closes and he heads my way. Leah? Dad is wearing a blue and green checkered robe that is older than me, flannel pajama pants, and a gray t-shirt that says Athletic Department. His feet are bare. His too long hair, more silver than black, is sticking out all over the place. He looks like a homeless guy begging for change on a corner, but instead of an empty can, he's holding a pie plate buried under a mound of whipped cream. The last 2 pieces of pumpkin pie from Thanksgiving dinner, I bet. What are you doing up? He asks. You should be asleep. I hold up Neil Gaiman's latest work of genius. I have to see what happens at the end. What about you? He carefully sits down in the recliner, pie plate in his lap, and digs in for the first bite. I keep dreaming about my research and waking up Jennifer because I'm punching the mattress. He frowns. I should never have agreed to write this one. Why not? I ask. He takes another bite and chews. The smell curls up next to me, sweet, sweet pumpkin, whipped cream melting on my tongue, crossed out. The pie is almost a week old, slick mold is growing in the crust. It'll make him sick. He wipes a dab of whipped cream from his mouth. I didn't do enough preliminary research before I wrote the proposal. I assumed that I'd find plenty of primary sources and made too many promises. Now I'm stuck. Tell your editor, I say. Tell her you made a mistake and offer to write a different book. It's not that simple. He shovels in another enormous hunk of pie. Watching the food go into his mouth, his jaw working like a grinding machine and gulping swallows, boils up a panic inside me. I run my fingertips along the edges to the cover of my book, pushing on the corners until it hurts. You used to say things always look better in the morning, I say. Maybe you should just go back to bed. This is grown-up stuff, Leah. A little more complicated than that, but it's nothing you have to worry about. Because I am still a little girl who believes in Santa and the Tooth Fairy and you, crossed out. He fumbles in the pocket of his robe for his reading glasses. Is my laptop over there? I point to the bookshelf above the television. Ah. He stands up and crosses the room. Why don't you finish this for me? He says as he shoves the pie, 5:45, in my face. I don't want to, I push it back. It's disgusting. He frowns. It won't hurt you. It's just pie. He keeps the pie plate inches away from my face. If I smacked his hand, the pie would splatter across the entertainment unit and slide down the television screen. We don't want your mother to be right about this, do we? He asks. Right about what? I ask. About you slipping back into your old habits, the bad ones. I stand up, forcing him to step backwards and give me some room. I'm tired, I say. I'm going to bed. My feet on the carpeted stairs do not make a sound. I open the door slowly. Cassie is gone. The room smells a little like a bakery at Christmas, but she's not here. I set the computer to play country music because she hates it and crawl into bed. Just as I start to doze, the music stops. Cassie sits at the foot of my bed, looking stronger, healthier than before, like she's getting the hang of being a ghost. She pats the shape of my leg under the blankets and says, "Go to sleep. It'll be okay." There are no spiders in sight, no friendly critters to make her go away. I want to tell her to leave me alone, but my mouth won't open. 25. Thursday. I wake up breathing dirt. I cough and spit out the pebbles in my mouth, but when I inhale again, wet clots of clay fill my lungs. No, it's the sheet trapped over my face. I rip it off and get out of bed as fast as I can. The house is dark, 5:45. This is the first time in weeks I'm awake before Emma. Down the hall, my father's shower turns on. He probably has another committee meeting. I turn on all the lights and catch a glimpse of me in the mirror. My metabolism is slowing down again. Yellow bubbles of fat are floating under my skin. I am starting to look disgusting again, weak. Stupid, ugly, stupid bitch, stupid fat, stupid baby, stupid loser, stupid lost. They gave me rules for moments like this. 1. Identify the feeling. 2. Recite magic incantations, crossed out, affirmations, reread life goals, meditate on positive thoughts. 3. Call therapist if negative self-talk continues. 4. Maintain required caloric intake and hydration. 5. Avoid excessive exercise and alcohol or drug abuse. 6. Click heels together 3 times and repeat, "There's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home." A tornado will be along momentarily to whisk you away to safety, or a house might drop on your head. Nothing works, nothing ever works, it just keeps killing me from the inside, crossed out. I lay on the floor for a couple hundred crunches until sweat pools in my belly button. New rules. 1. 800 calories a day, max. 500 preferred. 2. A day starts at dinner. If they make me eat with them, stuff in enough to keep them off my back. Restrict during the next day to make up for it. 3. If no breakfast, take the bus to school. 3A. Better. Walk. 3B. Best. Don't go. 4. Restart exercise program. 5. Sleep with the lights on until they bury her. I smile and play pretend through the morning show in the kitchen. Jennifer is grilling Emma with the division flashcards because she has a math test. They barely notice I'm in the room. They are 10 minutes late getting out the door. The physics teacher demonstrates momentum and collision with a bowling ball and a squash ball. The bowling ball wins. Instead of history, we march down to the gym for a college fair. Representatives from a couple hundred schools and the military stand behind card tables loaded with glossy brochures that all promise us a bright and shiny future. 5,000 acres of trees were slaughtered to make those brochures. They'll all be in the trash by the end of the day. Do I need to pick one up? No. We know where I'm going to college. Do I want to go? No. What do I want? The answer to that question does not exist. I should have kept Cassie's sea glass, or at least looked through it before I gave it back. It would have been better than a dumb brochure. 3 stars. The stage crew invites me to sit at their lunch table. I just want to nap in the nurse's office, but they're being sweet, so I say sure and follow them into the lunch line. I buy a small bruised apple, 70, and a low-fat, artificially sweetened yogurt, 60. The girl in front of me, Sasha, buys breaded cheese fingers, deep-fried in lard, served with tomato sauce, and a brownie, and a bottle of water. The guy in front of her, he runs the light board and sound, buys spaghetti and pays extra for a second serving of garlic bread. Another guy buys pizza. The girl behind me gets a bowl of lettuce and celery and a small bowl of ketchup. The rest of the girls buy taco salads. We sit in the middle of the cafeteria, a fishbowl crowded with minnows, guppies, tetras, mollies, and angelfish. Sharks circle their prey. Lesser spiny eels bump their noses against the glass, looking for the exit. Bits of fish flakes and strings of poop dangle in the air. Lime green algae slicks the floor. The crew talks about who cried at the wake and who didn't cry, and who was crying because they got dumped, not because Cassie's body was laid out in the padded box. When they ask me questions, I recite the lines written for me in advance. Yes, it was so tragic. No, I had no idea. Yes, I think the Undertaker did a crappy job. No, I don't think she would have liked that dress. Yes, it was weird. Their mouths open, close, gills flaring out and flapping behind their ears. Cheese finger grease floats to the surface of the water. The janitors will clean it up with sawdust. The pizza fish guy drops sauce on his shirt. The taco salad girl has an infected nose piercing. She was in my ballet class in 7th grade. Lettuce and ketchup keeps giving me dirty looks because no matter what she does, she can't lose those last 10 pounds. I cut the mushy bruise out of my apple, slice what's left into 8 pieces, dip one into the yogurt, and lay it on my tongue. Swimmy, yummy, and soft. It bumps its way down my throat and splashes. I've never been to a funeral before, says the blonde taco salad. I've been to tons, says the spaghetti. My dad's side of the family keeps dying. The funerals are all the same. Do we have to shovel the dirt in? Asks the taco salad with the nose piercing. The cemetery does it. Spaghetti crunches into his garlic bread. They use a small payloader, like at the construction site. We should all go together. Sasha Cheese Fingers sips her water. Just like at the wake. It'll mean a lot to her parents. Cassie swims through the double doors, shoeless, the blue dress rippling against her body. Her hair streams behind her, tangled and braided with seaweed ribbons. Tiny snails are suckered onto her neck and fingers. She drifts over the first table, scanning the room. I stare deep into my yogurt. Do you want to meet us at my house, Leah? Asks the blonde taco salad. She has salsa on her shirt, but she doesn't see it. I can get my mom's van. We'll all fit. Cassie swims faster, circling around the bowl, looking for me. I wonder if the sea glass is still in her belly. She'll have to puke it up if she wants to see her future, but maybe that works different when you're dead. Leah? I don't think I'm going, I say as Cassie disappears into the kitchen. What? My parents don't want me to go. You have to go, whines Lettuce and Ketchup. We all have to go to show our support. What support? I ask. Support for Cassie, she snaps back. Not that you would know what that is. Hey, I point the plastic knife at her. I was her friend a lot longer than you were. Oh, really? She pulls her face into the mask of outrage. Eyes wide, head jutted forward, mouth hanging open in pretend shock. Is that why she never talked to you? I know how you messed her up. A real friend would never do that. I'd never do that. The tables around us listen in. Stage crew is supposed to be mellow and depressed. They never fight in public. I should just swim away, but my gills flap and angry bubbles come out of my mouth. If you were her friend... Where were you when she was scared and alone? I asked. Did you pick up the phone? No, you didn't. You suck. What are you talking about? She didn't call me. Sasha puts her hand on my arm. Calm down, Leah. Calm? How can I be calm? She's dead. I am standing. I am screaming. I think I threw my yogurt at lettuce and ketchup. A fat security guard fish swims over to protect the peace.